Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Don Donald, and this is Motivation on Tees. This is the 16th episode in the series of the top 5 motivational quotes ever. But number 5 is what deserves your special notice. Number 1, build your own dreams, or someone else will hire you to build theirs. You got to decide today whether you want to remain a slave to other people for the rest of your life, or you want to be free. Get me right, there is nothing in working for other people, or helping to build the dreams of other people at some point in your life's journey, but remaining a lifelong helper of other people's dream abandoning yours is not good for you as an individual with your own dreams, goals, and aspirations, with the attendant potentials ranging from talents, skills, capacity, and variety of abilities latent in you. The truth is, if you have what it takes to build dreams, but you refuse to build yours, others are definitely going to call you to help them build theirs either by way of employment or by way of manipulation, or even both. So wake up today from your slumber and build your own dreams. I'm just buttressing the words of Farrah Gray, a young American businessman, investor, author, and motivational speaker who loves freedom and possibilities so much, and who believes so much in himself and in building his own dreams as a lifelong career. Farrah Gray made other quotes which I would like to show you. 1. Comfort is the enemy of achievement. I'm a strong supporter of comfort breeds complacency. Growing up poor, I wasn't comfortable. My mom had to work so hard, and I woke up one day and decided I was not going to come home until I could help her pay the bills. Never duck responsibility, it's like running from the rain only to fall into the river. Make it happen now, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is a loser's excuse. 2. You don't have to have money to be a successful businessperson. You don't need a college degree. You just need a lot of common sense backed up by a willingness to work hard. Do not let anyone tell you what you can be. Do not let anyone tell you that you are not good enough or smart enough. Remember that nobody is better than you. Everybody puts on their pants one leg at a time. 3. And lastly, in life we don't get what we want, we get in life what we are. If we want more, we have to be able to be more, and in order to be more you have to face rejection. Money doesn't change who we are, it magnifies who you really are. Next, number 2, if you genuinely want something, don't wait for it, teach yourself to be impatient. Let me tell you, there is a certain kind of impatience that is allowed in life, and it's this kind spoken of here. Because it makes no sense saying you are being patient to start when a genuine desire and plan are already established, it makes no sense. If you wait against the urgency of a strong desire to achieve something great in the name of just being patient, you are no longer being patient, you are simply procrastinating. In all, I would say, know when to wait, and when not to wait. Know when to be patient, and when not to be patient. A strong desire is like a burning fire. You don't light a fire, and tell it not to burn to its fullness to achieve its end objective. There is another man that said something quite similar to this. His name is George Herbert. Herbert said, "Do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand, and work with whatever tools you may have at your command, and better tools will be found as you go along." So I will tell you frankly, if you genuinely and sincerely want something, please go for it, don't wait for it to come to you. It may never come to you, as it will not happen on its own. Mind you, people who have the culture of sitting and waiting for their dreams to come true on their own, or waiting for the right time to start the journey of destiny, are generally not very serious individuals. Thankfully, Gurbaksh Singh Chahal, the owner of this quote, is also a young successful entrepreneur, an American Indian entrepreneur who founded several internet advertising companies, his first advertising network being founded at the age of 16, which company Chahal sold 2 years later to Value Click at nearly $40 million to become a millionaire at a very young age of 18. Wow. Chahal has some other mind-boggling statements he made, and I will give you the ones that interest me most. 1. Everything starts with a dream. A particle of our imagination that teases us of what the future could be like, as long as we fight for it. Inspire yourself to be great. Being good isn't good enough. When you have an idea, figure out the pieces you need quickly, go to market, believe in it, and continue to iterate. You quit, you lose. You keep going, you may still lose. But your ambition will never die. Fear is your worst enemy. Risk is your best friend. I've also learned that the biggest lessons came from my biggest mistakes. People tend to think that in order to start a new business they have to come up with something new and dazzling, but that's a myth, and it's often propagated by venture capitalists. 2. There is an essence of when you are fearless, you become more creative, and the more fearless I became, the more creative I was. You want to hire entrepreneurs, people who are natural problem solvers, the ones who see opportunity when most see impossibility. There's not only one path, there are different ways to do it, and I'm fortunate that I was able to find that path very early in life and take that risk. Find something you love and do it better than everyone else. 3. And lastly, if life gives you lemons, make apple juice and make people wonder how the hell you did it. Living a life that has a greater purpose and living up to it is the ultimate degree that we should strive for. People still stereotype all day long. But if you forget your own age, you'll get so focused on the business that you become ultra confident and people will forget to question how old you are. It doesn't matter if the glass is half empty or half full. Be grateful you have a glass, you're the only person that can decide what's in it. If you're helping someone and expecting something in return, you're doing business, not kindness. Do good and expect nothing in return. It'll become your life's greatest gift. This is Gurbaksh Singh Chahal for you. Let us now move to our next quote of this video, number 3, never give up, for that is just the place and time that the tide will turn. I know that with just a little search you will find littered everywhere on this channel, motivation on tees, admonitions to never give up in life. But I believe no one ever told you that the tide turns just at the point, place, and time of your giving up. That is what Harriet Elizabeth Beecher Stowe is telling us here today. She says, never give up, for that is the place and time that the tide will turn. You remember the story of the gold miner who gave up at the success door? It was the great Napoleon Hill in his best-selling book, Think and Grow Rich, who told us the story about being 3 feet away from gold, the story of a young man during the American gold rush. This particular young man, after mining away at a Colorado gold mine for many months, finally quitted, and sold all of his tools and machinery to a junk man who sought counsel before he resumed digging. His engineer told him that gold was only 3 feet away from where the previous miner had stopped when he quitted. Alas! His engineer was right. The first miner was literally 3 feet from striking gold before he quitted. Let me tell you today, winners never quit, and quitters never win. Oh my! Most people give up right before the very gold is hit because it seems to get too hard at that particular point in time, forgetting that the light breaks at the darkest of the night. Never ever give up. There is a breakthrough on the way. Keep hitting, keep digging, and keep moving, and you are sure to come out the other side with a resounding victory. Harriet Beecher Stowe was an American author and abolitionist who was best known for her novel, Uncle Tom's Cabin, which depicts the harsh conditions of the enslaved African Americans of her time. Harriet had many other life-touching quotes that you might want to see. 1. The truth is the kindest thing we can give folks in the end. The past, the present and the future are really one, they are today. 2. It's a matter of taking the side of the weak against the strong, something the best people have always done. Perhaps it is impossible for a person who does no good not to do harm. To be really great in little things, to be truly noble and heroic in the insipid details of everyday life, is a virtue so rare as to be worthy of canonization. 3. And lastly, women are the real architects of society. We can now move to quote number 4 in the video. Why should you continue going after your dreams? Because seeing the look on the faces of the people who said you couldn't will be priceless. This young guy Kevin NGO is asking a seemingly rhetoric question here today. Why should you continue going after your dreams? Why should you never consider quitting? Why should you continue to work hard until you achieve your dreams? NGO answers, it is because seeing the look on the faces of the people who said you couldn't will be priceless. Oh my! And I say, it will not just be priceless, it will be worth it. It will be worth all the investment, all the effort, all the energy, time and money put in. It will be worth it all. Seeing the look on the faces of the people who said you couldn't do it, oh my, there's nothing like it on the planet. It's a great experience. It's something to write home about. It's enough motivation to continue to dream, and translate your dreams into reality. Kevin is the author of the famous motivational book, Let's Do This, and the owner of the highly resourceful and highly booming motivation website called motivationalwellbeing.com, that attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors per month. It was this successful young man NGO that also said, 1. If you don't make the time to work on creating the life you want, you're eventually going to be forced to spend a lot of time dealing with a life you don't want. 2. It is during our failures that we discover our true desire for success. Until you run out of pages, there's still room to write an epic ending. 3. And lastly, when you start to accept responsibility for the results you get in life, you also take back the power to change your future outcome. Now to our last quote of the day, quote number 5, "It always seems impossible until it's done." This is coming from one of the greatest men ever to have lived, Nelson Mandela. And who else can come up with a quote like this if not Madiba, as he was fondly called after his clan? Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela was a South African anti-apartheid revolutionary who had to go in and out of prison for many long years in the quest for freedom for his people, the black South Africans. And many times were told that it wouldn't be possible to gain this freedom. But Mandela proved all his naysayers wrong when he eventually won the well-deserved, well-sought, and hard-fought freedom for his people. He's the author of the most notable work, Long Walk to Freedom. But the point is, where it seemed impossible for Nelson to do it, he did it. And he can tell us today that it always seems impossible until it's done. His other great quotes are, 1. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Do not judge me by my successes, judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. 2. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. 3. And lastly, what counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead. With this we have come to the end of this episode. I will see you in the next video. If you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe and make sure you hit the notification bell, so you are notified each time we upload a new video. Also like, leave a comment, and share our videos with your friends and family if you find them helpful. Thank you.